Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today's video we'll be covering a topic named Canada is ready to pay money to immigrants. Now, why am I making such a controversial topic, you might ask me. Now, reading your comments, guys, I found out that the majority of the people are interested in free stuff. You know, getting something out of it. Can I get a job? Can I get money? So people are asking for free stuff, free things. So here you go, a video, a bunch of free stuff that would be really interesting for you to know what kind of support, what kind of benefits, money can you get from Canadian government once you immigrate here. Right, before people start hating me in the comments, especially those that are from Canada saying you're promoting the wrong things, I'll tell you a little bit from my culture. Might be similar to your culture where you're watching it from. Very rarely will anyone go and ask the government, hey government, can you support me in this kind of situation? People feel ashamed. They feel it's a kind of a gimmick, it's a joke, and it's not serious to go and ask the government for help. Now, being a new immigrant in Canada can be very challenging. All of your money, all of everything is on stake, and it's very difficult to settle down sometimes, and it's easy to make a mistake and end up in a financial situation where you cannot afford a living. Now, luckily, Canadian government understands that struggle, understands those difficulties. Canadian government has introduced an $82 billion budget due to COVID-19 situation right now to support businesses, workers, and people who are living and working in Canada due to the COVID-19 situation. So first thing is, we are going to cover the Canada Emergency Response Benefit Plan, which is if you're an immigrant or worker or even an international student, you can get up to $2,000 a month, basically $500 a week, up to 16 weeks, which is approximately 4 months, right guys? You can get that amount. Of course, you have to prove your eligibility. You have to show that you made at least $5,000 of income in the previous year, in 2019, and be eligible to get it. Second benefit that you might be eligible for is welfare. Well guys, welfare is a famous thing all around the world. People kept on asking me, how much is the welfare in Canada? Well, the thing is, it's all different from province to province. So what it is in Ontario is different from what you're going to get in Alberta, and so on. There's many provinces here, and I'm not going to mention all of the amounts. If you're interested to find out how much is the welfare, you can check by the province where you are at, because it would be way too many numbers for one single video, guys. So welfare is another thing. All you have to be, of course, is qualified to get it. And by qualified, I mean you have to show that your income is less than a certain point, that you don't have a lot of money left, and you have to qualify for it. It's basically, it's the bottom of what you can get. It used to be way higher, and far too many people were taking advantage of it. Right now the amount is pretty low, but still you can get something out of it. And when I'm saying welfare, it doesn't mean that you are unemployed. So it's not an employment insurance. It can be confusing for people from other parts of the world where welfare and employment insurance is almost the same thing. So there is this thing in Canada called an employment insurance, and it's different from welfare. So how it works is, it's another benefit that you might be eligible for, but you have to be qualified for it. So if you had a job and you work a certain amount of weeks, hours on that job, and now you paid towards the employment insurance from your salary, from your income, from your wages, when they are doing all the deductions in the company. So you lost your job. Now you did not quit your job, because if you quit your job, you're not going to get anything, but you lost your job. The trick to unemployment insurance is, one thing you have to know is that, first of all, you have to be eligible. Secondly, you have to be searching for job constantly. So it's not like you're on vacation. You want to work every single day, and you wish you were showing up to work, but you don't have a job, and that's why it's there. So how much can you get? You cannot get it indefinitely. So government of Canada establishes, depending on the unemployment rate in your region, depending on what's the amount of people searching for jobs right now, they give a forecast approximately how much time it will take you to find find a job, and then they would give you to that amount. So it can be 3 months, it can be 6 months, it can be more, depending on what's the unemployment rate in your region right now. You'll be getting this government support, and every 2 weeks you would have to file to get that money. So once every 2 weeks you have to go online and say that, yeah, I'm still searching for jobs, I'm willing to work, I'm not out of the country. So it's not like you get this benefit and then you're like, you know what, I'm going to go back to my country to visit my parents, grandparents, stay there for 2 months, get paid, come back from my vacation, and everything is settled down. No, you're not going to get paid if you're out of the country. You have to be in Canada searching for a job. Under this employment insurance category, if you get sick, if you get injured at work, you can also collect that benefit. So for example, you got injured, there is worker compensation, WCB here in Alberta, but also, you know, if you cannot work because of that injury and you have to stay at home, and your doctor said that you should be doing that, and because of that you cannot work, you're also going to be collecting the employment insurance for that period of time. Guys, you see, there's so many things here in Canada to support you as a Canadian, as an immigrant, because there is no difference between an immigrant and Canadian. Once you immigrated, you're considered to be Canadian. Now, let's talk about something that lots of countries do not have, and that is, of course, maternity leave. Now, there are two kinds of leaves here in Canada. One of them is maternity leave, the other one is parental leave. Now, why is it called like that? The reason is, of course, it's interesting, might be different from your country, even if you have maternity leave back at home, is parental leave is something where even the father of the child, so you have a baby, even the father can take time off work and stay home with the baby and still get paid for that time being at home. Alright, so that's the coolest and most amazing part about this benefit, guys. How long can you take it, the time off work, and still getting paid? Well, there are two types, a standard and a premium period. So standard period is like 40 weeks and extended is 69 weeks. And in addition to that, with the maternity leave, it all adds up from like a year to almost like 2 years. But does it mean you're going to still get paid the same amount of money from the period you're going to stay home? Now, the trick here is that for the standard period, I'm actually going to pick up my phone and tell you the exact numbers. For the standard period, guys, you will get benefit rate of 55% up to $573 per week, just like employment insurance. Now, if it's extended and you are staying at home longer, it's going to be the same amount but extended over a more period of time. So it's going to be up to 33% of your income and up to $344 a week, which is not much at all. That's why lots of people in Canada prefer to go back to work sooner than later, because staying at home longer, you technically get less money. But still, isn't it amazing that you can stay at home with the baby once the baby is born and still get paid? Now, of course, it should be there is a condition that you have to be working and contributing towards the employment insurance in order to be eligible for this, guys. So it's not something like welfare where you can just be qualified and say, hey, I need money, and somebody's just going to give it to you. Everything in Canada is more complicated. Everything you have to show the documentation, you have to prove your eligibility before you can get anything. Now, since we started talking about kids, let's talk about the child benefit. Canada is an amazing country, and actually for having kids here, you are entitled to have some certain amount of money given to you on a monthly basis. So until your kids are 18 years of age, every month you'll be getting a child benefit support, guys. So depending on your income, it can be anywhere from $200 something to $600 something. Why I'm saying something is because it's undetermined. It depends on how much taxes you paid. In addition to that, there are federal programs. So the provincial programs. So the provincial government Alberta, Ontario. I heard that Ontario has one of the best programs so far for kids. So depending on which province you reside in Canada, you are going to get an extra amount of money on top of that. So having kids in Canada is actually good, and the government does support you for doing that. Now, from my personal story, guys, from the experience, I've seen at least a couple of immigrants when they are coming to Canada and settling here. There were people who had a bunch of kids and they couldn't find a job at the beginning, so they were heavily relying on that government support. Please do not take advantage, do not abuse the Canadian system here. There are families that come with many kids to Canada and they get that benefit, and because they have so many kids, they are discouraged from searching for jobs, from succeeding in the country, assimilating, and getting into all the good living conditions here in a new country, and they end up just getting the government support and not trying to do anything about it. So it's very bad for the kids, to be in such environment. That benefit is given to support the parents, to get them ahead, to have them in a better situation for their families, for their kids. It's not made to be abused. It's not made to have children live like that. So, and it also puts a bad reputation to the immigrants. It also puts the bad reputation to the people coming to this country, and overall lots of bad stereotypes. So please do not do that. Do. See, there's kids shooting at me.
Darth Vader!
Ah! The kids have a tree house and they're shooting at me. This is amazing. He's saying Darth Vader. Star Wars, guys. This is amazing. I was just talking about kids. Next benefit that you can get money out of is caregiver. So if you have a relative who is sick and requires your caregiving, your assistance to take care of somebody with disabilities or a sickness, so you have to be of course qualified and eligible for it, and it's a part of employment insurance. You can take time off work, still get paid for staying home with the relative and providing the assistance, taking care of that relative who is sick. You can take time off work to support your family like that and still get paid, which is quite an amazing situation. You'll be probably surprised by now how many benefits Canada has, but the list is not yet over. There is one more thing you can get money out of, and it's actually a really weird one. I'm sure you would agree. It's called a survivor's pension. So if your spouse was to pass away, your partner has died, ceased to exist, and he or she was contributing to the Canada pension. Now you are stuck on your own without money. You are stuck in financial, it's going to be a financial struggle now that you are on your own, who have to support the household and everything. Now the good part about it is government still provides an assistance, and it's called a survivor's pension, where you will be able to collect a part of the amount that being contributed to the Canada pension plan on behalf of that person, which is quite amazing. Another benefit that you might be entitled to get is student aid. Alright, so every province in Canada has their own system and their own kind of student aid. You can get a loan with almost no interest for your studying. You can get different kinds of scholarships to help you out with the tuition. It's a really interesting program that offers you lots of opportunities. I can tell you the exact amount that you're going to get because every province is different, guys. Now, what I can tell you is, because of COVID-19 situation, there is this kind of emergency response benefit plan, right? There is also one for students. And there I can tell you, you can get up to $1,250 a month if you're eligible. if you're eligible because you were affected by the COVID-19, by the coronavirus situation here, as a student, as a graduate. Guys, I have just picked up some mail here. So there is one more benefit that only immigrants are actually eligible for it. You know, guys, it is close to $2,000 a month, but the condition is it's given away by Calgary Immigrant Women's Society here in Calgary. It's not on their website, and I heard it from my couple of my Russian-speaking friends in the past who said that their wives went there. So this is actually, you have to be an immigrant, and you have to be a woman immigrant on top of that. But you know, there are lots of immigrant women's oh my god, women who corona fly into my face. Oh, dust. Oh, I'm going to wash my face now. Oh, going home, guys. It's too dirty here, too dusty. Basically, if you're an immigrant, they provide courses for you that you can take with them. So they help you by those courses. They help you build your resumes, search for jobs. They help you with your English language. They help you understand the Canadian culture better, and they pay you on top. Now, I don't know how helpful the courses are, but I do know that lots of people go there to get some money to their families. So I know at least two people, I know two people actually, who send their wives there to get that help, to get some kind of income and help them get a job. And they actually did find jobs after going through those courses. So it's a win-win situation. Now, some of you would say, Igor, you mentioned so many benefits and you made a video named it as Immigrants Get Paid. Well, I'll tell you this, guys, if you're not an immigrant, if you have no status in Canada, you know, you're not on the working visa, you're not a student, you're a visitor, you're not entitled to all these benefits. You have to be, for majority of them, you have to be living in here. You know, you have to be Canadian, you have to be an immigrant to be entitled to those benefits, guys. If you made it this far, give it a big fat thumbs up. Don't you forget to subscribe to this video, okay? Don't leave without subscribing. And guys, looking forward to read your comments. If you know some benefits that I forgot to mention, or you have some corrections or additions to my things that I have mentioned, because there is a huge list of things and it's just impossible to put it into one brief video. Guys, we'll see you next video. See you soon. See you in Canada. Bye for now.